I'll ask you the question that many Americans are probably wondering, watching this news around the globe, it seems like constantly, especially in the last week. Is the world on the brink of a massive war?
I don't think we're there yet. I do believe President Trump's attack on Syria last week was the right move. Bashar al-Assad, in my opinion, needs to go. We have a refugee crisis because of Assad. It was because of Assad and his civil war that created the space for ISIS to come in. Assad is the problem. And the fact that you have the Russians that are willing to side with Hezbollah, to me, is absolutely outrageous. And Rex Tillerson, Secretary Tillerson, is going to have his hands full on the diplomatic negotiation. But what I think what people are seeing is that President Trump is willing to use all tools of national power that are at his disposal. That's diplomatic efforts, intelligence efforts, military efforts, and economic levers as well. And that this is a new day when it comes to U.S. foreign policy.
Should that be the ultimate goal of this administration, to force Assad to go?
I think so, because you cannot completely get rid of ISIS if Assad is still there. Assad is we need some political stability in Syria to prevent any kind of terrorist group from training and equipping themselves in Syria and coming to attack us or attack our friends. And Bashar al-Assad will never be able to create that stability. Now, people are going to say, well, who's next? And there's not a Syrian George Washington, but we know that Assad is willing to use chemical weapons against his own people. He's done it on more than a dozen occasions over the last year and a half. And this is someone that we can't stand. And we have to make the Russians see that Bashar al-Assad is a problem to them as well.
So what does the next steps look like? I mean, you just heard Sean Spicer speaking at the White House earlier today, basically leaving the door open for more military action. Do we see continued action? What do the next few days and weeks look like?
I would say that the Trump administration's position and strategy is evolving, and I think that is a good thing. What we have to see is I think we can build an international coalition against the Russians and against the Iranians. The fact that the Russians and the Iranians and Hezbollah are willing to do a joint statement together makes them complicit with the Syrian president using chemical weapons. That is a violation of a number of treaties, and we can even possibly see the UN Act and force the Russians to veto a Security Council measure that is about them. That is one effort that we can start working on, building an international coalition in order to put pressure on the Russians. I think also we have some economic tools that we can use when it comes to impacting the Russian energy sector. Let's add some additional sanctions against the Russian energy sector. Russia makes its money from oil, but it gets its political power from natural gas. And if they are condoning and supporting the use of chemical weapons in warfare against a country's own population, then we should use that tool as well to put the continued pressure on Russia.
But bottom line, you say Assad must go. Congressman Hurd, good of you to be on tonight. Thanks.
Thank you.